Hi everyone, Julia here from The Art of Creating, and today I am on Crafty Maven Getaway channel again with the Scraplift Saturday this time. Here is the inspiration piece and the page that I have scraplifted from Missy Widden, and this is the page that I have created with it. So I have taken the inspiration in colors from the inspiration piece. I've done a similar thing to what I've done for my In Your Pocket Tuesday video earlier this week, and I've used the shimmers sprays to do a bit of a background. This paper towel I have had for quite a long time. I have used it to mop up some inks from a previous project quite some time ago, and I just kept it and just haven't used it. And this time I thought the colors matched the inspiration and the layout in general, so I have decided to use it. And here's some tissue paper that I have had in my stash for a while as well, and I've just backed the photo or matted the photo with a couple of layers of tissue paper, which kind of gave me an idea to do that from the scrap lifted or the page that I was scrap lifting. I'm trying to make the second photo work on this layout, but it eventually won't make it on here. I've cut it down to 3x3, but it just didn't go with it. I wanted to do a few layers of paper strips there, and it was just basically in the way, so I will put it aside and use it probably on the next project if I have time to do it. I will probably make an 8x8 page or something small with it, and it's just going to be an easy and quick page to use up that second photo. I've cut up a paper from Shine collection, and there is a paper with a few strips of like the ruler strips, and I have just cut it all into separate ruler strips because that is probably the most likely way I would use them, and I was just trying them out on the page to see which ones I like behind the photo the best. Because I'm going to use some sprays on the layout, I have decided to prep the page a little bit with clear gesso, and it does warp the paper. The paper itself is quite thin, so you do need to either back it with something or put gesso on it so that the additional liquid and sprays and all that sort of stuff doesn't ruin the paper. And here I've started with the shimmers sprays. I'm using the packaging technique. I'm just putting a little bit of ink onto the packaging, and I had to pour it down because I'm running out of that particular color, and the spray nozzle itself doesn't pick up the ink, so I just had to pour it on the packaging. And now I'm using a blue shimmer spray as well. This one is the Vibes, and I am just doing the same thing in a couple of spots where I think you would still be able to see it. A lot of it will get covered up, but it just does give that extra layer to the background. I'm adding a few splatters with that same blue color and also a bit of yellow, just to have a bit of a variation in the texture. While it's drying, I have decided to do my layers on my table separately and just see how it all fits together. So I've got my photo, I've got this paper towel that I want to use, and the rest I am doing with some paper layers. Here I've taken a scrap piece from Bloom collection, which has similar tones and similar colors to the Shine collection, so they kind of go together. And these paper, the papers also match the colors that I wanted for this page. So I have cut out a couple of pieces. I wanted to use this deer because this was kind of outdoorsy, outside in the nature, that sort of thing, but it doesn't end up making it onto the layout as well. So I've cut up a couple of strips and things on here, and I didn't worry about that little hole in the middle of the pink strip because that will get covered up. And Now I am happy with the paper layers on that side, so I have attached the paper towel to the back of it, and now that the background paper is dry, I am ready to basically do the background bit and start attaching everything to onto the page. I'm happy with the placement of these two rulers, so I have glued them down straight away so I don't lose the placement. And here trying to see whether I want to add this green ruler as well, but I just didn't like it, so I took it off and tried a few other strips to see if I like them behind the photo, but I just end up using the two strips that are already on the page. Instead, I have pulled out a few washi tapes to add a bit more color to the page and just different texture. Because washi tape is semi-transparent, it's not as overpowering as pattern paper can be, so they add a subtle texture to it and a bit of color, a bit of texture, and it's not as overpowering, and it's just easy to stick it onto the page, and if you don't like it, you can pull it up and it doesn't damage the paper underneath. I felt I needed a bit of darker color to balance the photo and the blue ruler that's in the middle. So I've taken the couple of blue washi tapes, the darker polka dot one and the lighter one, and I've just put a couple of strips on either side to go basically draw your eye diagonally across the page. And the top left one, I didn't want it exactly the same as the bottom right one, so I've torn the edge a little bit just to make it look slightly different so that both sides don't match completely. It was bothering me that you could see where my clear gesso has finished on the page. I didn't cover all of the paper originally. I basically covered a bit more than like the center portion of it, and you could tell where it finished. It just didn't look right to me, so I've added the gesso where you could see those spots and just made sure that I've covered all of the paper there. Here you can see I have taken the little circle sticker off. Originally it was a sticker that I have used, but the sticker had a border on it which stayed on the actual sticker sheet. So what I've done is I have cut around it. I've actually done it to quite a few embellishments that I've used from the sticker sheet, like this one, the little arrow as well. I've cut around them and now I'm using them as additional embellishments. So the circle I have used with an empty middle. However, with this arrow pointy bit, I have stuck it onto the pattern paper with a few words on it, and I've made a little embellishment out of it. I'm adding a few of these hearts, which was also, I guess, an inspiration from the page that I have scraplifted. And I'm trying to layer them and place them where it balances on the page. These hearts I have made previously on with Shimmer's inks on vellum, and I think I have a blog post about it with a tutorial and description of how I've done it, and you can check that out on my blog, which is theartofcreating12.blogspot.com.au, and there is also a link in the description box with all my social media details, so if you want to check out the tutorial, just have a look there and you'll be able to find it. This idea was also from Missy from one of her videos, so in the blog there is a link to the original video as well. Now I am starting to glue everything down onto the page. I have added my title. I have used the wooden word for the beginning of the title and then just letter stickers for the rest. I think the original idea was to write woodland folk, but I was running out of letters, so it just ended up being wood folk. These little clouds I have made with it's a texture paste. I can't remember which one I have used, and I've just put it onto the craft mat through the stencil and let it dry overnight, and then you can peel them off and they become embellishments. I can't remember who I saw doing that. It could have been Rit or might have been Missy. I just can't quite remember. And I've used those clouds on the page. Here I've stuck it to the background, which is just a plain white background, and ruffled up the edges a bit to give it a bit of texture. I'm doing a bit of outlining for the title just to make it stand out a little bit, and that will complete my page. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and click like, and also check out my social media and my YouTube channel if you would like to see more of my videos. Thanks for watching. Bye!